Have you ever been in a meeting, one that's just going absolutely nowhere, and then all of a sudden one person throws out this wild idea that just completely changes the game? Or maybe you have that one friend who can argue any point from any side, pretty much just for the fun of it? Well, if any of that sounds familiar, you have probably run into the whirlwind of energy that is the ENTP. Today, we're diving deep into the world of this fascinating personality type, the one we call the visionary. All right, here's the plan. First, we're going to meet the visionary and see what makes them tick. Then we'll peek under the hood at their mental engine, look at the double-edged sword of their talents, map out a path for growth, and then wrap it all up with some key rules for success. Let's jump in. So let's start with the very core of the ENTP, the visionary. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that deep down, they have this one incredible trait. They look at the world and they see a universe of possibilities, where most of us just see, well, walls. This quote just nails their whole way of being. See, they don't just look at the world, they are constantly scanning it. Their minds are always on, absorbing information, finding patterns, and making connections that honestly, most of us completely miss. It's almost like they have this high-speed radar that's always out there, searching for what could be. And that is exactly why they are the ultimate idea people. A new concept, a new angle, it gives them a genuine rush. And their enthusiasm is so infectious, right? They see the vision with such incredible clarity, they just can't help but pull everyone else into their orbit to try and make it a reality. Okay, so how does this all actually work? What are the gears turning inside the visionary's mind that makes all this happen? It really boils down to two key mental functions that create their unique engine. Their number one superpower is something called extroverted intuition. Just imagine it's an antenna that's always on, constantly scanning the world around them, not for what is, but for what could be. This is the source of that endless, sparkling stream of ideas. It's why they can improvise a brilliant solution to almost any problem right there on the fly. But all that creative chaos would be pretty useless without its partner, introverted thinking. This is like their internal architect. It takes that fire hose of possibilities coming from their intuition, and it starts building. It builds this logical framework, testing every single idea against an internal blueprint of objective principles. And this is where the magic really happens. Their intuition, it acts like this giant funnel, gathering all the raw, exciting possibilities from the world. Then their thinking mind kicks in like an engine, assembling all those parts into something powerful and inventive. I mean, when these two functions are working together in sync, an ENTP's ability to innovate is it's off the charts. Now, this powerful combination often creates what some people call the lawyer mindset. They can instantly size up a situation, find every logical loophole, and build a completely airtight case based on objective rules. It's an incredible tool for debate and for strategy, but, and this is a big but, it has a crucial blind spot. In its intense focus on logic, it can completely steamroll the messy, personal human emotions in the room. And that right there brings us to a super important point. Because for the ENTP, every single one of their greatest gifts comes with a hidden cost. Their personality isn't just a simple tool, it's a true double-edged sword. On the bright side of that sword, you have an absolutely incredible array of strengths. Their enthusiasm and amazing communication skills make them popular and just natural leaders. They're the ones you want in a crisis because they are just brilliant at solving those impossible problems. And here's something interesting. While they might seem a little flighty, when they actually give their word, they take that commitment very, very seriously. But here's the other edge of that sword. That same excitement for new ideas, well, it can lead to a long trail of half-finished projects. Their love for a good intellectual debate can easily spill over into being argumentative, and that can push people away. And that constant nagging drive for growth, it can mean they walk away from jobs, projects, or even relationships the very moment they feel like they're not learning anymore. So, the big question is, how can a visionary harness all of that incredible potential without falling into the common traps of their own nature? How do they manage that? And this brings us to their path to growth. For an ENTP, real development isn't about changing who they are at their core. No, it's about learning how to anchor their boundless intuition to the steadying force of reality. The core challenge is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Their amazing extroverted intuition can completely hijack the ship. They get so swept up in the thrill of the next big thing that they just leap before they look, leaving their careful logical thinking way behind in the dust. And often, that means they crash before their vision ever really takes off. So, the real work for the ENTP is all in conscious practice. It means building the muscle of just pausing for a second to analyze an idea before launching it. It's about shifting from just waiting for your turn to talk to truly listening to what other people are saying. And it's about recognizing that the small details, the emotional undercurrents, those aren't distractions. They are the very foundation that makes the big ideas actually work in the real world. And that brings us to our final section, the rules for success. But for an ENTP, let's be clear, success is not about climbing a corporate ladder or checking off boxes on a list. It is about redefining what it even means to win. This quote it gets right to the heart of it. Success for an ENTP isn't the destination, it's the aha moment. It's the thrill of connecting dots no one else even saw, of cracking a puzzle that seemed impossible, and of standing on the edge of some new frontier that they just helped discover. So how does an ENTP actually win? Well, it kind of boils down to this. First, don't ever dull your shine. Feed that intuitive strength that makes you who you are. But have the courage to face your blind spots. Use other people not just as an audience, but as a real sounding board. And try to see structure not as a cage, but as the launch pad for your greatest ideas. Ultimately, it's about taking total ownership of your path, pairing that relentless optimism with a solid plan, and just embracing the journey. At the end of the day, the ENTP's life is a grand adventure. It's a constant search for the next challenge, the next idea, the next breakthrough. So the only question left to ask, for any ENTPs out there listening, is this one. What new frontier will you explore?